My name is Peter Corless, and I grew up in the Rockaways. I was born in 1964 in the Bronx. In 1970 we moved down to Rockaway Beach, and I lived there until 1989. My mom still has the same house there. If you love your mom, you pay attention to what's going on to her home. The night of the storm, she didn't want to evacuate, and I had been monitoring the storm from California, all the weather maps, National Weather Service, NOAA, the Storm Prediction Center, National Hurricane Center, all these kind of things. So this is a personal thing that I'm choosing to champion. So he announced, Michael Bloomberg, he put aside $100 million for what he called the Neighborhood Game Changer Challenge Grants. And there's 5 economic recovery zones, like you were saying. And the 5th challenge grant is for Southern Queens. And now, a lot of people in the Rockaways will think, well, what they mean is the Rockaways. That $20 million should be for us. If they can't organize around how to ask for $20 million, you can go to JFK, you can go to any part of Southern Queens. So they really need to come forward with a plan of action on how they would use $20 million to fundamentally change the Rockaways. So the winning idea from each of these areas will get a $20 million grant coming from the city. And I'm thinking, if you have $20 million to fundamentally change a neighborhood, you need education and you need good paying jobs. The kind of jobs that people would commute down from Manhattan to have. And the only way I could think about doing that in the early part of the 21st century is to have a high-tech and higher ed component. Because there is no college in the Rockaways. The unemployment in the Rockaways is 16% for adults and 35% for youth, even before this storm hit. My own high school down there, Beach Channel High School, is no longer taking in students. And it's going to be shutting down. And I'm taking a look at the dropout rate in the Rockaways. And if they're closing the high schools, the dropout rate's so high, you can't be employable in a modern 21st century economy without really good skills. So high education is a requirement. And then high tech is, if we can get those companies down there and we can give them a pool of good candidates for those jobs, then there's a reason why you can work in the Rockaways and not pay your tolls, you know, back and forth every day. And so that was my idea, that was my vision. And if $20 million can start that vision, then the question is, well, how much would business partners also invest in it? How much would a higher ed partner invest in that? And then what would you need? You'd need to have a site selection. You need to figure out where in the Rockaways can we build this? Because a lot of land's already being used. There are some vacant lots though. There are some buildings that might be able to be refurbished, rehabilitated. And then you need a business partner track. And you need to get everybody at the table saying, yes, please. And then I said, well, what kind of higher education could it be? It might need to be a lot of K through 12 college readiness programs, remedial work, a way to restore a whole generation's possibility, because a lot of them are losing hope. Then there's a question of, would you actually want to go to baccalaureate or even a graduate program? I mean, there could be a kind of a tiger team of graduate students and researchers that could be put together working along with, let's say, very high-tech corporations to do things like civil engineering and marine engineering and sciences. You could study from this point of view, how do you build a resilient coastal network? So that was my thought. I mean, we have to pick those opportunities, and you can't ask for, like, you know, the future, like 20 years down the road. You have to start with a very small idea that you can get done in the next couple of years and start a program with a long-term vision in mind of where you want the community to be. And that's what the game changer idea that I had was all about.